You thought you were saved. You believe in Jesus. You think you're saved, but deep down, something is still wrong. You haven't changed. You still struggle with the same sin. You still chase the same idols. You still live like the world. The truth, you might be following the gospel Satan loves. The enemy doesn't mind church. He doesn't mind Christian playlists, Bible apps, or a cross around your neck. He only fears one thing: a surrendered life. And that is the gospel Jesus preached, a gospel that commands you to die daily. We've been sold a gospel that soothes but doesn't save. It makes you feel safe while you're still drowning. It tells you Jesus loves you, but never tells you he also said, "Go and sin no more." This gospel doesn't confront sin. It doesn't require change. It celebrates grace while ignoring holiness. It talks about heaven, but never mentions the cross you must carry to get there. And here's the deception. It looks like Christianity. It sounds like Jesus, but it's missing the one thing he always asked for: your life. Jesus didn't say, "Repeat a prayer and you're done." No, he said, "If anyone wants to follow me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me." The real gospel costs you everything. Your pride, your comfort, your sin. It calls you to die, to lay everything down, and be reborn in him. You can't hold the world in one hand and Christ in the other. You can't serve two masters, and you can't follow Jesus and keep your old life. But here's the good news. The cross that kills your flesh also sets your spirit free. The enemy has done something terrifying. He's moved into the church, not with horns, but with compromise, not with rage, but with comfort, not with lies, but with half-truths. Babylon isn't just out there in the world. It's sitting in pews. It's singing worship songs. It's preaching sermons that never convict, never confront, never call for surrender. Revelation says, "Come out of her, my people." But how can you come out when you don't even know you're in? If your church tells you God is love, but never says he is holy, wake up. If your gospel never mentions obedience or dying to self, wake up. If your Christianity has made you comfortable in sin, you're already deceived. Now the deception is growing faster, with AI, with fake sermons, with flawless preachers who never stumble, never weep, never bleed. We're surrounded by a flood of Christian content, but not all of it is real. Not all of it is anointed. Not all of it is truth. And the danger is this: when you're used to hearing soft words, truth starts to sound like hate. When your ears are used to being tickled, a sword feels violent. But Jesus didn't come with feathers. He came with fire. I don't speak as someone above you. I speak as someone broken too. I grew up in pain. I saw darkness. I was chained by sin. Even now, I still wrestle. I still weep. I still feel the weight of my past. But I also know this: the gospel set me free. Not the easy one, the real one, the one that told me I must die, that I must let go, that I must surrender, even when I wanted to hold on. And now I see what's coming. The line is being drawn. Sheep and goats, wheat and tares, truth and deception. This is a war, and it's not a war I expect to win in the eyes of the world. But I will fight to the end, because eternity is real, and time is almost gone. If you're still listening, maybe God is reaching for you. Maybe you're waking up. Maybe you feel it, that ache inside, that knowing that something isn't right. Don't ignore that. That's the Spirit of God, calling you out of the fake light and into real life, out of Babylon, out of compromise, out of the gospel that Satan loves, into the gospel of Jesus Christ, the one that will cost you everything, the one that will save your soul. You were never called to blend in. You were called to burn. You were called to carry the cross. You were called to fight. So stop waiting for a sign. The war is on. The shaking has begun. The mark is near. And Jesus is still saying, "Come." But you must come now. Not with half your heart. Not with one foot in Babylon. Not with a gospel that costs you nothing. But with full surrender. Because this is the gospel that Satan fears. the gospel that Jesus died to give. This is the gospel that saves.